In this video, I'm going to show you exactly my approach on how to build a portfolio. And this is based on my experience as a concept artist in the industry for over a decade and reviewing hundreds of portfolios from students and artists as well. In this video, I want to show you how to structure your portfolio. And this is not just making cool art and just adding it to a website. You have to be a little bit intentional and with a strategy in order to increase your chances to get hired as an artist. And so the way I like to do it, I like to organize my portfolio in a specific way that I like to put my work in and the type of work that we're gonna put in the portfolio. And this video is actually from one of my mentorship sessions where I gather a couple of artists to mentor and we go through everything that they need to work on to become better artists, whether it's working on the portfolio, on a specific skills, and I work with them every single week. So if you'd like more information about that, make sure that you check the link down below.
When you say portfolio, right, this is always a ongoing, always growing thing. It's always going to keep growing, or it should. You're always going to keep adding to it. You're always going to curate it. You're always going to edit it and add and remove things from it, right? Because you're always going to be working on getting better, developing your skills, whether that's a little bit slower when you have a job or a little bit faster when you don't have a job, it doesn't matter. But that's always an ongoing thing, right? And so having a solid portfolio to me means that you have at least 3 projects, right? Project number 1, project number 2.
3 projects. Does these have to be different?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through that now.
Settings. Okay.
Yeah. So what this means is that each project is gonna have its own IP, right? So you have right now, you're working on this IP right now, right? Same world, same theme, same thematic, same, if it was for like the same game or the same animation, etc., right? And each project is going to have a portfolio-based pieces, right? And this is going to vary, right? But what I don't want you to do is just create one image here, one image here, one image here, and that's your portfolio, right? No, let's actually talk or work as if you were actually working on a project or in a studio scenario, which you're going to end up doing multiple things. And an example of that is exactly what I did here, which is, and I'll break this down in a second here, right? Where maybe you could have one keyframe. Maybe you could have 3 architectural callouts. And again, this is going to vary depending on the project that you're working on, right? Which are going to look like this, right? Your keyframe is this, right? Maybe you could have 3 to 5 props or material callouts. Sure this. Maybe you could have, as the process of you doing this, you're going to do sketches and composition or sketches and stuff like that. Maybe you could have 3 to 5 rough color comps, right? And then I'll have, let's see. Right, so they could look like this. Let's see here. Let's put it here. These are sort of super rough, right? There's no detail in this. It's just really to get the mood and the lighting going on. Or even actually, these are a little bit better. Hold on, these are actually better. One second. Right? Let's let's copy this one too. That's your sketches, right? And so what this gives me is a good range of skill, cohesives, which is cohesive, right? It tells me that you can stick to one project for a long time, commitment, right? Range of skill, right? So you're in the keyframe, you're expressing your compositional values, lighting, mood, putting everything together into one image, right? Maybe these architectural colors represent your design skills, right? So how look and how functional these callouts are in terms of based on the project, right? How well you can define materials, all of that, right? And so this project tells me a lot about your skills with just one project. And once I do that, I can replicate that into another project with a different IP. Do that again.
Can the 3 projects be different locations in the same world?
No,
As in,
I wouldn't do
like, maybe opposing faction? No?
No, I wouldn't do
With,
that.
like, even with, like, entirely
Right.
architecture style or, different culture, that kind of stuff? No?
You can do it. I'm not saying doing it that way or the other way is wrong or right, because every time I'm thinking about a portfolio is how you can maximize your chances of attracting clients. That's what a portfolio should be, correct? Because we want to get clients, right? And so what happens is that if you have a big project where you're showcasing, this is the same IP, right? Same IP, which is your project listed. And you have, I don't know, let's say 30 images, right? You have 10 images of one faction, 5 images on another faction. Everything is still within the same style, genre, type of game. Everything is within the same. And so your pool of clients is going to be less than if you have less images, right? Less images of the IP, but then you're playing with maybe a different genre here, or a visually, or maybe like a different style, or a different type of game. You do this again, right?
Yeah.
And so this will attract more clients because you're attacking a wider range while still keeping each of these projects individually condensed, where you're showing a wide range of skills, right? And so visually, I personally like to have, I'd rather have, let's say 5 to 8 pieces per project and have multiple projects. So let's say 3 projects, right? Then have 20 pieces of the same project. And this is mostly if I'm looking for jobs and attracting clients, and if I'm starting out, etc. Right? Because this one here will give me a higher chance because I'm attacking a wider range. Right? Mm-hmm. Of course, when you're in the industry, you're going to end up with pieces of portfolio where you're going to work on a project for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever the case. And yes, you're going to have with like 30 pieces for that project. That's totally fine, right? But you're already in the industry, you're already working in the industry and all that. So it doesn't matter as much. But to me, if you want to be more strategically, like have a better strategy, I will go for this.
That makes sense.
Now, but again, that's my opinion. You're gonna hear other artists say completely different things, right? But if I were to work on my portfolio and I'm looking for clients and do all that, this is the way that I would do it.
Okay.
And again, remember, like art directors and stuff, they don't have a lot of time to go through a bunch of images of the same world. They might be intrigued by it, and you might nail the client with that one specific project, but that's a less likely scenario to happen. You know, an art director or somebody, an artist that has experience, I can see one image or maybe 2 or 3 from you, and I can tell whether you can do the job or not. You know, because I can see the skills that are presented in those images right away.
And so that is the strategy. 3 different projects with 5 to 8 different pieces that showcase different types of skill sets within the same project, instead of just grabbing 20 images that don't relate to each other and they represent the same skill set. This way you have a higher percentage to be higher, and also you're attacking a wider pool of clients that could potentially hire. Now the mentorship program covers this and obviously a lot more. We actually meet every week for 4 weeks, and it's a very, very small group of 5 people. And so we work through all the things that you need to grow as an artist, whether that is on portfolio building, skill leveling, or how to navigate the industry. And so if you would like more information about that, make sure that you check the link down below. I will see you in the next one.